circumstances surrounding this trip have raised more questions than answers. NDTV has exclusive details of the mystery NGO and think tank responsible for organizing the trip, even the meetings with the Prime Minister and the Vice President, and details of the correspondence between the facilitators and a Liberal Democrat MP from the UK, Chris Davies, who was actually bumped off the invitation list because he demanded unfettered access in Kashmir. Srinivasan Jain has the details.
The government has said that this is a private visit and that they have nothing to do with it. But at least now some layers of who has exactly organized this visit are starting to emerge, and they raise more questions than they answer. So this is in main part because NDTV has accessed an email exchange between the organizers of the visit and one of the European MEPs, Chris Davies of the Liberal Democrat Party, who says he was bumped off from the trip because he demanded free and full access to the ordinary public in Kashmir. Now, the email tells you a lot. The email has been sent by somebody called Madhi Sharma, and she says she's writing to Chris Davies saying that she's organizing a prestigious VIP meeting with the Prime Minister of India, His Excellency Narendra Modi. She also goes on to say that the Prime Minister has had a landslide victory and he's planning to continue on his path of growth. But interestingly, she says, in that respect, he would like to meet influential decision makers from the European Union, seeming to suggest that she is writing on the Prime Minister's behalf, which belies the official line that the government had nothing to do with it. Now, who is Madhi Sharma is where the mystery deepens, because we've been trying to go down the rabbit hole of the internet, and the answer is not very clear. She claims to be part of a NGO called West, Women's Economic and Social Think Tank. She also says she's a member of the European Economic and Social Committee. She also claims to represent something called the Madhi Group. But if you go onto the website of both this NGO and the Madhi Group, it's not entirely clear what they do and what exactly their credentials are. And the mystery gets even further deepened, because in her email she says this entire trip is sponsored by something called the International Institute for Non-Aligned Studies. This is a Delhi-based think tank according to its website, and again we went on to their site. We even sent somebody down there to try and speak to them, but again it raises the question, what is this think tank that has the funding, the capacity to actually pull together so many MPs from across the board? So these are all the questions that still remain unanswered about who exactly is behind this controversial visit.
All right, and speaking of that think tank, NDTV actually visited the office of the think tank International Institute for Non-Aligned Studies that financed this trip of the European Union MPs. And we found a big lock on the gate. Now, when we had visited yesterday, and they had told us to actually come back the next day, that is today, Arvind reports.
Yesterday, NDTV had reported about this International Institute for Non-Aligned Studies, which, according to Madhi Sharma, actually funded the trip of the European MPs to Kashmir. In fact, when we had come to this office yesterday evening, people present here, they told us that office is closed on account of Baiduj holiday, and the person of contact, Sujoy Dhawan, will be available tomorrow, and they had asked us to come today. When we came in the morning today, what we are seeing is a big log at the gate, and the security guard present here, he just told us that office is closed for at least a week. Yesterday, we didn't see any lock. In fact, there were people around here. But today, everything is closed and there is a big lock at the gate. And no one is speaking, no one is responding to our calls too.